The F1 guide for you girly bitches wanting to get into F1.
Albon, you cheeky boy, where are you? Albon is not. Where the fuck is Albon gone? Albon, who the fuck is racing for you, darling?
Oh, sorry, I'm covering his face. I love him. Hello. Welcome to probably the video I'm most excited to make in my whole entire fucking life. Welcome to F1 for the girlies. The F1 guide for you girly bitches wanting to get into F1. I'm bringing you all along to join the fucking F1 cult. You're all gonna be obsessed with fucking car racing after this, bitches. Whether you want to be an F1 girly to impress a boy, or you just want to be quirky and different. Trust me, you're not gonna be quirky and different. There's so many people into fucking F1 guys, and then there's gonna be so many more after this video. First of all, I must state my qualifications to provide this information about F1. I have been obsessed with car racing since I was a tiny tot. Lightning McQueen, that was my jam, and that is my qualifications. Step one to being the F1 girly you should be is you need to pick a driver / team. There are two ways to go about this. You can either pick a team and then you go for that team and like whoever's driving for them, or you can pick a driver and go for that driver and follow them around because, you know, shit be switching, contracts be ending, people need to keep their career and that money flowing. Personally, I'm really lucky because my driver and my team are like this. But I do have to say, if my driver ever moved, I probably would move with him. I'm obsessed with my fucking driver. But I'm about to show you all the different F1 teams and all the different drivers to help you pick your team and your driver. I will be using the 2025 driver lineup for this since the 2024 season is ending in 6 races. Actually, when this goes up, it's probably 5. I'm not ready for the season to be over. These are all the teams. I definitely did not rank them at all with best, okay, and worst. Didn't do that. I would never do that. I would never try and make your decision bias. Anyways, we have Red Bull Racing. We have Ferrari. Please study these logos. We have McLaren, Williams, Aston Martin. Yes, like the Taylor Swift song. If you go for Aston Martin just because Taylor Swift sang about them, we're gonna need to have a discussion because that's not how you pick an F1 team, baby. Mercedes, Alpine, Haas, RB, which is Red Bull's second team. And we have this bad boy in the corner here. I will be honest with you guys, I have no idea if it's called Stay, Kick, or is it Saber? I don't fucking know, but I don't care about them. So sorry if anyone goes for them. So these are all the teams that you can pick from. And now you can just be like, oh my god, like Ferrari, I love a Ferrari car. Oh my god, the McLarens make the best car. Let me just pick them. Oh, I think the guy talked. Yes.
Sorry.
I'm just in class right now, teaching everyone about F1. Yeah, I was really on a roll too. The guy I'm talking to owns a Mercedes, so I'm gonna pick Mercedes. No, I mean, you can pick a team that way, but I recommend the driver method. Before I introduce you to the drivers, there are 3 different ways to pick your favorite driver. One, you can go off ethnicity. So like there's Spanish drivers, there's French drivers, like there's Aussie drivers. So you pick your ethnicity and then you find a driver in your ethnicity. But I'm pretty sure there are not drivers for every single ethnicity because there's only 20 drivers on the grid, I think. So there's not enough to cover every ethnicity. So then you move on to step 2. Step 2 is pick the hot driver. The driver you're most attracted to, that's the driver you go for, baby girl. That's what I did. I won't lie to you. The third way is pick the driver that's like up and coming, the next big star. So the last couple of years we've had Max Verstappen, this cheeky boy here. He's been winning a lot. Not gonna lie, last season he won like every single race and it was looking kind of boring. Pick the next up and comer big thing. I've heard through the rumors, unfortunately. I'm not trying to be biased. This cheeky boy, he's gonna be the next big thing. This is Lando Norris. He's gonna be the next best thing. Perks, he's very attractive, but I will never go for McLaren, ever. And that's just a personal thing. Calm down, everybody. Let me introduce you to all of the drivers. We're gonna start over here with the Red Bull drivers. As I already stated, first driver up is Max Verstappen. You will probably have to go to the drivers that you think are somewhat attractive on this little piece of paper to their social medias to actually see if they're attractive or not, because I'm not doing that much work for you guys. Hold on. Let me just break it down even more. We have like driver number 1, driver number 2. We have first driver, we have second driver. That's linked into another video, but like Max is like Red Bull's first driver and Perez is their second driver. If you want to know more about that, let me know in the comments and I'll make a whole video about it. But this is Perez, also known as Checo. Some of the drivers, I only know them by their last name because that's what they're called. You'll know how much I like the driver or how good they are based off if I know their first and last name. Boom, that's the Red Bull team. This is so fucking difficult. Why did I put myself through all of this? Next up, Williams. We have Albon. This is Albon boy. And then we have Sainz moving from Ferrari to Williams next year. If you can't tell, I'm a Ferrari fan. But we have Sainz. Carlos Sainz. Oh, this hurts. Alpine. For Alpine, we have Gasly. He's a French boy. Ooh. Is it Pierre Gasly? I think is his name. Oh my god. The drama this year with the Alpine team. Woo! And then we have a driver who's coming up from the F2 to the F1. We have Dohan. Oh, sorry, I'm covering his face. We have this Chicky Chop. He's on the younger side because he's just moved up from F2. So my younger gals, if you want to go for a young boy, someone that maybe you can meet and fall in love with in the future. Next, we're moving on to Ferrari. Ferrari, aka my team. Now guys, this is my favorite driver. Charles Leclerc. I love him. How did I pick him, you may ask? When I was first really getting into Formula 1, this bad boy was compared to Lightning McQueen, and as I stated earlier in the episode, it's not really an episode, earlier in the video, I'm a Lightning McQueen lover. Lightning McQueen is my favorite, Cars is my favorite movie, so we have my favorite driver. His partner for next year is Lewis Hamilton. He is loved by a lot of people because he's won a lot of driver championships, which is something that we will get into in another video. Next, Aston Martin. The fuck is driving for Aston Martin next year? Same boys who's driving this year, I can tell you that. Your Aston Martin drivers are Alonso. This man has been in the F1 for so fucking long. He's a long veteran. Honestly, every single year he gets a seat, I'm like, again? Another year? You're doing another year of racing, babe? And the second racer is Strolly boy. We're up to Haas. Haas has Ollie Behrman, also an F2 driver who is just coming up into F1. He has raced 2 races this year in the F1, one for Ferrari and one for Haas. Personally, I feel like if Ollie was given a better team, no shade to Haas, they just don't have the funds to be doing the big upgrades that, you know, these 6 kind of have. I feel like Ollie would do big things and he'd be the next up and coming. Personal opinion. And the second driver is Ocon. He's another French boy. Then we move on to McLaren. Guys, look, I gotta give it to McLaren. They've really stepped it up this year, but trouble goes for McLaren, so I will never. Even though they have 2 really hot drivers, and one of them is Aussie. We have Lando Norris. Hottie, up and comer. He's gonna be a big thing. He's coming for that driver championship this year. He doesn't get it this year. High hopes for next year for that boy. Then we have our Aussie boy. He's not the only Aussie boy on the table, but he's my favorite Aussie boy. This is Oscar Piastri. I do call him Pastry, but that's because I am Australian and I bully everybody. Oscar Piastri, everybody. Next up is Mercedes. We have George Russell. We'll say George Russell's a good looker and has a good TikTok. And then we have Kimi Antonelli. Here's another F2 driver who's coming up to F1 for the 2025 season. I actually went for this boy in the F2 because the team he races for looks like, fuck, I've forgotten his name. He's from Cars. Francesco. His team in the F2 looks like Francesco, like their fucking F1 car looks like Francesco. So I actually was rooting for him all of F2 and I'm so excited that he's moved up to the F1. Because he's driving for Mercedes, he actually could be a pretty big threat. Some new blood in a pretty good car. You know, Mercedes have been stepping up this year. Kimi Antonelli might come in for a win next season. We're up to RB, aka Red Bull's backup team. It only has one driver confirmed, so it's getting a little quizzy mark. Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda is the only confirmed driver for RB. I don't know where the fuck to put you, bro. And the last team, the team that I really don't give two shits about, this one. Sorry, I shouldn't talk bad about any teams because you guys should be picking your team not based off my bias. Also, only has one driver currently for the next season, and that driver is Nico Hulkenberg. These are all of the drivers that are confirmed for the 2025 season. So pick wisely, pick the hot ones, pick the ones that go with your ethnicity, preferably the hotter one because like we got two French boys up there, pick the hotter French one, you know? Anyways, we should move on to step number 2 because that was just step number 1, ladies. Step 2 is pretty simple. It's watch the fucking races. Now, I'm not saying you have to like dedicate your whole entire weekend to watching F1. Just watch the main race to start off with. I know time zones can be tricky. Like here in Australia, they're always on so fucking late, but I just fall asleep watching them. And then when you start to actually enjoy it and get into it a little bit more and become obsessed like I am, then you'll watch the qualies. And then when you get really, really fucking obsessed, then you start watching the practices as well. And then that's when your whole weekend like kind of becomes revolved around F1 and you're like, oh, so sorry, I can't hang out. Free practice 3 is on. That is me. I am she. Or I'll be walking around the fucking plaza with F1 on my phone. Step 3 follows shortly after. If your team gets on the podium, comes first, second, or third, fucking share it on your socials. Let everybody know who you go for. You gotta, like, if you're not posting on social media, how's anyone meant to know you're an F1 girly? Come on, people. And ideally, you know, if they're on top, pretty big deal, like share like 3 different things. Now, that's all the tips for like the basic beginners. If you want to be an advanced F1 girly / you have a fuck ton of money, listen up. Step 4, buy the merch for your team. I sadly do not have any F1 merch. No Ferrari merch for me. The only Ferrari merch I have is Lego. But, you know, the shit's expensive, I understand. But if you got the money and you're actually obsessed with F1, get the merch, guys. Get it. And the last and final step, which costs a lot of money, go to a Grand Prix, guys. Go actually watch it in person. Enjoy the motherfucking race, guys. Get to see your driver in person, all of that, and make sure you fucking post about it, you know, fucking brag that you're at a fucking Grand Prix. But yes, that is all of my tips to being an F1 girly. The main one is about these lovely boys right here. Pick your goddamn fucking driver. If you have any questions about the F1, DM me on my socials, which are linked below, or comment below. I'm literally, F1 is half of my personality at this point, so I would love to talk about them all the time and make more videos about F1 or about car racing in general. Like if you've got questions about the supercars, I can do the same kind of thing for the supercars. I'm not so much into NASCAR, but I'm happy to start and help you guys learn. Also not so much into motorbike racing, but you know what? I'm happy to learn, expand my horizons. Although in saying that, if you did enjoy, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, let YouTube know that you enjoyed it, let me know that you enjoyed it, and that you want more F1 content. And until next time, because I know you'll be back, bye!